Is the role of a school board to give back to the business community? Is it fair to use privilege to influence public decision-making? When public land is privatized, who benefits? Since May 2013, we have been asking these questions. We are Keep Polston Public, a community group formed to hold our local school board accountable, but we'll get to that in a moment. We live in Alamosa, Colorado, a small farming community in a mountain valley desert. Ours is a paradoxical paradise, this land of cool sunshine. We are one of the country's most productive farming areas, yet many of us face food insecurity. We struggle with some of the highest unemployment in the state and all of the challenges that come with it. Poverty, chronic health problems, a sense that opportunities are few and far between. Because we have been focused on commodity production for some decades, we have lost knowledge of traditional food production and processing, and are mining our best assets, soil, sunshine, water, only to feed our local economy a sliver of their value. This is the basis of our incredible poverty. A third of our children live in poverty. A third of our children are overweight or obese, and type 2 diabetes is rampant and on the rise. But we can turn all of this around by developing a local food web, including production, processing, and distribution. We are resilient, we are resourceful, and we value the intentional community we create a little bit each day.
In 1954, the Maddox family donated farmland along the Rio Grande River to the growing Alamosa School District for a new elementary school. Later, named Polston Elementary, this school educated generations of youth while the farmland remained in use. In the late 1990s, teachers put in a garden along the river to teach their children how to grow vegetables. With some of the richest soil in the San Luis Valley, the Polston Community Garden thrived for 12 years. Providing food for countless families, and introduced thousands of children to the power of putting their hands in the soil and planting seeds and harvesting the fruits of their own labor. The teachers found the garden a useful tool for explaining mathematics, science, geography, history, and language arts. Every subject found its way into the garden as the children were introduced to the world of building soil, along with the character building and empowerment that comes from growing your own food. As more and more time was spent working on meeting state educational standards, there was less and less time for such hands-on learning in the school day. Voters decided to fund a new school, and the Polston School building was demolished.
The new elementary school was relocated, and the Polston property was put up for sale. After a nearby mushroom farm declared bankruptcy and displaced employees from their work, Guatemalan immigrants of Mayan ancestry began to farm the land to feed their families, with great success.
Beautiful land, it's a good land for growing our food and everything, and especially you see the kids. This is another way to teach kids too how to work, how to grow in our food.
It's really an important thing to teach kids early, so they understand where their food comes from, and, that there is an important part of buying locally and, eating from the area you come from and supporting local farmers.
As often happens in gardening, imaginations were stirred. The inspiration to wonder what if arose. What if this could become a site for learning about all manner of food production? What if people could learn their way out of hunger? What if this extraordinary soil could be used as an example of what could be grown in the valley? What if it could be used as a hub of distribution for food grown around the valley? What if we could learn how to put food up so that we eat summer in the depths of winter in our very short growing season?
Community members from all walks of life began to think about building on the success of the community garden at Polston by offering more agricultural education and planning for local economic development. This new plan would take advantage of the growing local foods movement and agritourism. This new plan for Polston would add to community prosperity by using our greatest gifts, our diverse and knowledgeable people, our land and water, and our agricultural heritage.
there's a vision from all the people who've been working on this project here in a partnership with the Alamosa School District that this could become a food hub, a place where people could learn to grow food, they could learn to care for it, to package it, and then we could have a little distribution center that could distribute it all around the valley. And the idea of this food hub is to create that connection back to the agricultural heritage of this community and instill a sense of pride and a sense of place and tie it to the arts and the culture of this place and have a place that ecotourists want to come and see and residents want to spend time. You know, it's on the corridor of the Rio Grande River. It's got rich river bottom soil and it's right in the community. It's part of a community of people that could really enjoy it. So it has all the elements that the Trust for Public Land really values.
We put together a proposal with the help of the Trust for Public Land, or TPL, a national organization which has developed hundreds of successful public parks and brokers complex realty transactions. Our proposal would turn this unique riverfront property with water rights into a community-designed park with farm plots, an educational center, recreational facilities, a local food distribution hub, and commercial kitchen for incubating small businesses. TPL became interested in the property because of its potential to preserve the ecologically sensitive Rio Grande riverfront and positively impact our low-income community through these many initiatives. They work with community members to enhance special lands and special places. They were poised to raise $3 to $4 million required to develop this innovative facility and help us to plan for the future of the project. TPL helped us create a win-win situation. Even though we didn't have millions of dollars at the time, TPL's track record for raising funds gave us hope that our vision would become a reality. So TPL worked with the school board over the next 2 years on our proposal, and they shared the property's appraisal cost. The property was valued at $755,000, and TPL presented a letter of intent to purchase the property for the recently received full appraisal value in April of 2013. The school board gave no indication that they were not on board with this offer.
However, Dan Russell, the Alamosa County Land Surveyor, an elected position, presented an offer to the school board to convert the property into a private RV resort on May 2nd, even though the property or sale of the property was not on the agenda. The school board allowed him to spend 25 minutes on May 2nd presenting his project without a community audience, as no one had knowledge that this was part of the agenda. During this meeting, he degraded the current gardens run by other organizations and misinformed the board regarding the funding abilities of the Trust for Public Land, without anyone present from the TPL to respond. The RV resort proposal was never discussed by the board in any public meeting. Then a week later, on May 9th, the Alamosa Board of Education shocked an audience of 50 supporters by voting 6-1 to sell the Polston property to Russell for $500,000, $250,000 less than its appraised value.
We were stunned. We didn't understand how this could have happened after working with the school board to develop our project and buy the property for its full appraised value. We designed our project to be a win-win for the school district to maximize its sale price and for our community to create micro-enterprise business opportunities as well as promote local food production. We named our project the Rio Grande Healthy Living Park because organizations like Colorado Health Foundation specifically requested the opportunity to fund a project in our region that would support healthy lifestyles. This project wouldn't be funded by tax dollars, but rather private donors who give their money of free will and foundation support as part of their charter. Yet the result would benefit the youth and families of the San Luis Valley. And yet, despite all of this, the school board gave a discounted sale to a private RV resort proposal instead, without any public input, environmental impact study, or independent economic analysis.
So we formed a group called Keep Polston Public. We researched the history of the decision, worked with legal consultants to warn the school board that their decision may be illegal on several counts, asked them to consider negotiation or mediation, and reached out to the community to inform them about the details and impact of this decision. We received no response from the school board or their attorney. On July 1st, the school board cast the same 6-1 vote and signed the contract to sell the property to Russell at the discounted price. The one dissenting vote made it known that he did not believe that the school board should be in the business of subsidizing private enterprise.
I don't feel the school district is in the business of subsidizing private business, and I believe that that is what we're doing to the tune of $255,000. As a result, I feel this last whereas, where it states the Board of Education believes that this transaction is in the very best interest of the school district, is not a correct statement. And I have a problem with that.
At this point, we felt we had no other choice but to file a lawsuit so a judge could examine the legality of this decision. After much research and legal consultation, we filed suit, alleging that the school board violated Colorado Open Meetings Law, violated the Colorado Constitution prohibiting publicly funded gifts to a private entity, violated the board's fiduciary responsibility to Alamosa school children, and violated the Colorado Public Schools Act procedure for sale of real estate.
If we win the lawsuit and reverse the school district's decision, our funders will step in and purchase the property on behalf of the community. Any funds remaining after the court case will be used to help purchase the property. This way, we can resume work with the Trust for Public Land to develop the Healthy Living Park. Will you help us? We believe that fairness, transparency, and accountability should prevail in local government decision-making, and for public space remaining accessible for broad community benefit. With your support, we can finally make this dream a reality. Thank you.
I think it's about defining what Alamosa is as a community. What are our core values? What is important to us, and what do we want our environment to look like? What do we want to create for our children? I think that's what this big debate is about.